Welcome to the Tone Jerks podcast. I'm your host, Brian Gower, and with me today we got
Kyle McIntyre.
Does your gamer chair do this thing with like the arms where it's like displays in and out?
Yeah, what the fuck's the point of that?
You know, where you're like
For your gut?
relax mode, like this, when you're like
Yeah.
moving in gamer mode.
Yeah, it's like X-Wing.
Mhm.
What's the point of that?
Yeah,
Or
the
like
flat
like
wings, and then it goes.
What does that even do?
What for?
Why not just always be?
Yeah.
You know.
Always have them pointed like in.
Anyways.
So I'm like always kind of just ready for gaming or for chilling. It's like the same thing. I have my arms the same way, but sometimes like because I had it in the intro, I'm like, "Hey, this is fuck." Gonna get picked up in the mic.
God damn it!
No. Anyways, Kyle, what's new in your world? What's shaking? What's
Anyway.
going is good?
Oh man, I've been working on that Gibson wannabe guitar. So I've been getting parts in.
Was it the Maestro? What was it? What's it called?
Yeah, it's a Maestro.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's more of a Gibson than a freaking Epiphone, you know?
Yeah. I mean,
But
it's not
that's my
bad.
opinion.
Not bad at all. But yeah, no, I like you did show it off before we were recording here. It's coming together. It's all coming together now.
Yeah, I love the neck that it's maple.
Wait, does that
actually?
have black binding on the neck? Or is it just the video?
No, that's just the fretboard.
Oh, it's probably just the video. Yeah.
It's the fretboard.
I was about to say, like, that's a
Yeah.
lot for a budget guitar.
Oh, you know what? It is black, actually. That is binding.
Can you get it closer to the cam here? Let me take a look.
Cam.
That is. It looks like it's binding. Yeah, because you
Yeah,
can't see
it
the fret.
is.
You can't see the fret
Probably-
ends. That is binding.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have the same binding style
So-
on my Equits. So.
I'm sure it's done a lot better on your Equits, though.
Yeah, totally. Not to say like it's the same type of deal, but it's like that same aesthetic that they went for. And I know that you're going for is like all black hardware. I'm like, now that it has black binding, that I saw that, I'm like, you got to go with that black aesthetic. The hardware.
Yeah, damn.
Keep going.
So I got. I'm knocking my fucking beer and I'm gonna do it. All right, hold on. We'll risk it for the biscuit. All right, so I got hip shot tuners,
Yes.
lockers. Right, these are the retrofit style that have like the backing plate,
Super easy.
so they have
Easy
like
squeezy. Lemon
Oh, yeah.
easy.
Yeah, this thing was pretty sick. I got a Tusk nut on there.
Graph Tech.
it's a
the car.
Graph Tech, yeah.
Yeah.
Slap that bitch in there. I got a pickup, which I don't know. I don't know if I'm kind of
Weary.
It says it's a Bill Lawrence. It says a Bill Lawrence pickup, but I might I don't know if I believe the guy. It came like like when you get packaging, it's like pixelated pictures and shit in there. Like have you ever seen that before where the box has like pixelated images on it? You're like,
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay.
Appreciate you.
Gotcha.
So we'll see.
How people get like like pro games or like cartridges from like Game Boy Advance cartridges. I'm like, that's a reproduction. I'm sure it works fine, but also I'm like, don't sell it like it's the real thing.
Yeah. We'll see. I mean, that's what was sold on Reverb to me. I know this is too high.
Yeah.
The
Pickup.
you can probably see in the video. Pickup shroud. I don't know what you call it. It's too tall.
Mhm.
I have the original one. I'll probably throw it on. But what's sick is I guess I ordered it. I think I confirmed it like on the weekend when we were recording.
Mhm.
The Gun Street wiring harness.
Mhm.
Dude showed up almost. It felt like almost immediately.
Yeah.
Because I grabbed, I had a couple
fucking
things
quick.
that had been taking forever from Reverb,
Mhm.
right? And I went to grab them out of the box. They all, like 2 or 3 things came in at the same time. I opened up my mailbox and there's a 4th box. I'm like, oh, a 4th package.
Yeah, 4th meal.
What's that one? I'm like, oh, son of a bitch. He did it again.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I requested a Gun Street wiring harness from Gun Street Wiring Shop. Sean over there. Amazing job already. I've already put it into the guitar.
Always takes care of your boys here. And everybody, actually.
Oh, yeah, it takes care of everyone. Everyone us. Equally.
Yeah.
Because every time I hit him up, he goes, "Who dis?"
He's like, I don't know you. Lose my number.
I don't know.
Don't talk to me or my son ever again.
Definitely not. Yeah, definitely not like that. He's a very cool guy.
Yeah.
We love him. Most of my guitars, I would say, have a wiring harness from Sean.
Yeah,
I'd say of the
all but my jazz
17 guitars I have now.
All but my jazz bass.
Go ahead.
Yeah. So I got my my Strat has Gun Street, both my Gibsons, Equits, my Jazz Master has the Equits in it, and then or not Equits, the Gun Street in there, and then my P bass has one. I guess no, not my Montonder Jones there. So my Berta bass, and I guess my Taylor doesn't have a. Ooh, I wonder if he could do it acoustic.
He probably could. Just
he'd be like
just a straight up.
Yeah, because I got to get that rewired because it's TRS right now, so it's like it's a stereo signal for that fucking thing. And I talked to Scott at the FX Loop, and he said, "Got that shit out. It sucks. Get it out." And I got to hit him up again to figure out which pickup system and everything to get in there, because it's a real pain in the ass if you ever want to like hook that up somewhere. Like, say you're gonna do like a bar gig, you know. I'm not doing stadiums. Not like you, Kyle. Sorry. I play bars.
Yeah.
Sorry. Get on my level, bitch.
Yeah. What stadiums are we playing? The rodeo?
Yeah.
Yeah. There's like 4 or 5 of those around here. It's weird because you'll be driving some back road and someone's got like property that they've turned into like a stadium.
And they just have somebody with like
seating,
PA speakers, and you just fucking just raise hell.
Look it up. We got a big steer out here. Yeah, I don't even know. I've never been to stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. That's all I know. Probably what they. Like, no kneeling.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I'm not Kevin. I'm not Kevin kneeling. I'm Kevin standing. Okay. All right. Anyway.
Yeah. So Sean got the harness out. Got it here.
Look at he split.
Yeah. It's pretty sweet. I haven't had a chance, by the way, here's the downside of buying parts that you think are going to work.
Well, I know when we
Leo
talked,
Kwan.
Yeah. You were
sorry, interrupted.
Last time we talked, you had just got paid, so you were shooting from the hip. You're like, buy. You just went to town.
I probably should have measured between the studs. I just figured that, this is a wraparound bridge. It's, you only need this, so maybe the measurements are going to be the same. Wrong.
Sorry.
Definitely wrong. It's off by such a little amount.
Mm-hmm.
Pissed me off, but it's not like the measurements, like the actual, it says metric. I'm like, perfect. That's all I need. I need to know it's metric. Boom. Wrong. Again, it's the stud screw in, no problem. Right?
Yeah.
But
mm-hmm.
It will not, it's the width between the studs. The bridge will not fit.
Yeah.
And so, I'm like, what am I going to do? Probably could return this,
Yeah.
Or I keep it for another Gibson I don't have.
I have one for one that I don't
actually,
have.
it's metric, so it'd be, I know. Well, the one that you have wouldn't fit either,
Yeah.
I'd assume. I could modify this to work, but then what's that going to do with intonation and binding up, metal to metal instead of like this is painted or powder coated? You get in there and grind off a little bit on each side. I don't want to do that.
So basically, it's like
either find the right one.
Yeah, you got it in, and then you're like,
go ahead.
We're FUBAR.
Yeah,
like, the whole thing is
I just
like...
throw the thing. I throw the.
You're like, no,
this costs as much as a guitar by itself. By the way,
you're like,
it's $100.
That sucks. God damn it! Like I've made those mistakes before by like not measuring or taking into consideration any like other thing than like, oh, that's exactly what I need. Like there's so much more into
that's the right color
to guitar building or whatever.
It looks right.
Or pieces that you're like, God damn it, this doesn't fit. So you're like, you know what I need? A fucking hammer or a bigger hammer.
Yeah. Yeah. That's so. I mean, I could pull the studs, fill them with putty or dowel them.
Yeah.
But then that's like the paint on this guitar is really good. I don't want to fuck up the paint. And I know me, I'm going to be like a freaking bull in a china shop, like, and the saw's going to slip. I'm going to fuck up the paint job on it. I just know it.
Yeah.
So maybe I'll send to someone.
Me with my like first retrofit for a guitar was like putting in tuners for my Strat. I was like, okay.
Yeah.
Found like my dad's drill bit. I'm like, okay, that's probably the right size, I think. And then I'm like, okay. I didn't even like try and make it straight. I was like, okay, down. And then like
bam.
And it was like handheld, like a screw, like a drill. And then I'm like, okay, I'm sure it's not straight at all. And then I went right through the headstock of the guitar from the back. I'm like, it's still there. The hole's still there on my Strat from when I went through it. I could probably try patching it up or covering it up or whatever, painting over it. I'm like, nope, I leave it there because that's stupid 15-year-old Brian. Like, yep, you fucking idiot. I found my dad's tools. I'm like, let's go. I saved up enough to buy Spurzells.
Fuck up some shit.
Saved up enough to buy Spurzells. Realized they didn't just like screw in. I'm like, all right, let's drill some. And then they were like not straight either. That was another thing too. They were all like kind of cockeyed, but I'm like, it didn't affect tuning because like, okay, at that point, they fit in the hole.
Holes are centered.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it just looked stupid. And then eventually I went back and replaced them with like proper, I think, Fender replacement tuners that fit right where they should have been. So ones I should have gotten in the first place. But anyways.
Yeah.
You live and learn. And then you get lows, So, just repeat commercials. All right. But okay, you got some, big steps in that now, Gibson to being complete. It's looking cool, at least.
I could just put the old tailpiece back on, which has no intonation. It's what they call it, the lightning bolt, where it's just like...
Yeah, it's already compensated.
Yeah, but it's like a guesstimate.
Yeah.
You still have to adjust the guitar this way.
Yeah. Like, it's close enough for rock and roll, dude. Okay, shut up.
Yeah, just fucking send it, bro.
Yeah. Rock and roll is just plug a guitar right into a Marshall and just go. Thanks, Bad Religion. They plug into a fucking Axe Effect.
Kemper. Yeah, it's fucking...
And they
say that's rock and roll, and then they do the exact opposite.
Essentially dummy amps on stage just to like shoot the sound back at the dumb fucks on stage. And then it's like front of house. It's like, no, we actually give them highly modified Kemper sounds XLR out stereo. So they can mix them accordingly. And then they're like no. Yeah. I talked about it last time when we just dug into them. We took Bad Religion down a peg. But it was like those morons.
We can add that to our resume now.
Yeah, take them down a peg. But
took them down.
Just like the equivalent of giving, which I did to my 2-year-old nephew. I gave him a controller that was not plugged in. He's like, yes, I love playing Mario Kart.
I'm so good.
He's like, I'm crushing my big brother. Look at him. Look at it. Blue shell. I go. He has no idea. It's the same thing as like the guitars for Bad Religion. Like, I love playing Gibson and Marshall. Yeah, so he's not even playing right now. These are tracks.
This backing track.
He goes to his guitar tech, like, these are backing tracks. He's not even playing. This lead, this is like,
he played this 30 years ago.
Yeah, this lead line, it's like it's being dubbed over. He doesn't even remember it anymore. And yeah, his 1/4 inch is not even plugged in. It's right here. Yeah, you can plug it into anything. It's not even going to do anything. It's just Premier Guitar, just like letting him know that they're just morons on stage.
Bollinger. He's like, whoa,
It's like, cool.
That's awesome.
That's cool. That's wicked, dude. Anyways, so the Gibson, it's going. You're making steps towards, getting it complete.
Yeah, I hit a bit of a roadblock, but
yeah.
As one does.
Yeah.
I guess. And I don't own any Gibson guitars, so to say, like 6 strings. It's been my intro into, I guess, a different scale length, and not that I'm gonna notice it. I don't give a fuck. I probably won't care.
Yeah.
I can really hear the tone in the scale length.
Yeah, no, sure I really can't. No, so I'm right there with you.
Yeah. Do you notice the difference when you go between your Strat?
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
I'm so club-fisted.
It's only like, what? Is it an inch? Or is it not even?
Half
inch?
I think it's a 3/4 inch.
Yes.
Hey, sometimes it matters.
It's all you need, man. Sometimes you can't reach.
But it's I'm not light of touch. I mean, I would still play like thickest strings that I can.
Yeah,
I'm gonna try and go down to. Plan is to go through all my guitars, bring them down to standard tuning, 4610, 10 to 46.
Damn. Okay.
Yeah, just bring it standard string gauge, and then standard tuning. Which I have not.
What are you at now?
Drop half step down, 10 to 52. So I got the skinny top, heavy bottom.
Hell yeah.
Either just heavy bottom.
Just a stupid name.
It is, but also
big bottom.
Also,
big bottom.
That's not wrong. Nothing wrong with that. Because
that's what I picture.
I just fucking no. I'm actually probably the opposite. I got no ass and I'm just fucking all gut and tits.
I'm like a frog.
Yeah.
Like when you pick up a frog.
You got skinny legs and you're just all gut and tits.
Yeah. I'm just all heavy top, skinny bottom.
Yeah. You have skinny jeans. They're just painted on. No problem. You have like a Peter Pan. Like you could like do ballerina. And then you put the top. You're like, what the fuck?
I've been wearing those for work in the heat. So much better. Tell you.
What?
So much better. Either the material. Well, the material I use, and I'm sure maybe this is a Patreon topic, but there's safety. I'm sure there's some safety material that we wear, right?
Yeah.
I've gotten splashed with what's this? Just bleach and stuff.
Yeah.
And my work pants they're not affected.
Yeah.
My other ones are fucking trash as soon as they get hit. So, but man, this heat, I want to request shorts.
You can't do shorts, huh? That sucks.
No, not with the chemicals for sure. So,
but
that would suck. But
anyways,
it's hot as fuck. Actually, today was not bad. It rained. I mean, this is a weather podcast and a geography podcast. I live in Texas.
Yeah.
No, it rained a little bit yesterday, out of pity here.
Yeah.
Like it just felt like it barely for 30 minutes. But it was enough to lower the temperature, at least the overall temperature, but now humidity's gone up again. So I guess San Antonio got hit with a pretty big storm and we barely got anything. We barely got a pissing.
I mean, not to make light of things or whatever and weather and people who had to deal with
that's
shit.
fair.
But it's like the hurricane that hit San Diego this past weekend or whatever was nothing.
Hyped. Yeah, I get it. We're trying to keep people prepared for it, but man, I was following it here. I'm like, oh my gosh, like it's gonna be. They're talking about like it's gonna be Armageddon.
And like you have some Carrie has family.
Say your prayers.
Carrie has family out here, and I'm sure you're following. Yeah. You guys are following it. And then like I 100% appreciate it. I had people messaging me and stuff like that. Who shout out. Will, Andrew, got a whole got the crew,
the boys.
Yeah. Hit me up. I had other friends and family like hit me up. They're like, okay, how did you hear about this? It's like I'm like, oh fuck. It's just the the news and media, not to be like distrust any of that stuff, but I'm like a lot of times they blow things out of proportion, and this was definitely one of them. For San Diego County, I heard East County or further east of San Diego got fucked up or got hit harder. Maybe not fucked up.
San Diego County is one of the only places like I've ever heard that uses those terms. What? East County.
Yeah.
Instead of just like naming where it is. Because like in LA, you'd be like, oh, that's Alhambra or that's whatever. Or like Riverside, you would name like, oh, that's out at Halloran Springs or Victorville. High Desert, they use those terms like at a location. San Diego goes North County, East County, South County.
Yeah, because if you're not in that county, you don't give a fuck, dude.
Who gives a shit? Yeah. No.
Anyways,
it's funny because like it's also a really big county.
Yeah, and too. It's just like I'm like. It didn't affect me, but I'm like I heard it hit like them, and then also Mexico. I heard they got some shit going on there. So
a lot of crazy stuff. Yeah,
not to disparage any of that, but when the hurricane was hitting here, I was just like,
yeah.
Well, I mean,
it's like a regular storm, right?
The street had a lot of water in it, and I needed to get to my truck so I can go buy some Bud Lights, and so I had to do my biggest leap of faith. And I still got water in my shoes.
You do like
I'm like running. Let's go. Yeah.
You do like the track, ones where they jump into sand, where they like jump,
exactly,
and they move their legs forward.
I had one of my.
They throw their bodies.
I had a guy who was he's a couple houses down. He's like, we're both like doing essentially prepping to do like I can jump over this river. I can jump over it, and he's like. Bro, and I'm like, I gotta get to my truck. I'm like, why? I'm like, I need some Bud Light seltzers. And he's like, good idea. He's like, I left my fucking truck open, like the window rolled down, and so both of us jumped. It's like, all right, 3, 2, 1, let's go. And we both.
You're not even next to each other. You should have held hands and did it. You
we're essentially a house between us, but it was just funny how like it wasn't that big of a deal. Just like, okay, water in your shoes.
Yeah,
and both of us jumped and like. We just ran across the street because we parked across the street.
Well, yeah, your street's strange because there's no drainage.
Yeah, and then
your street is the storm drain, which is really strange.
And so it doesn't get into like the corner there. It's like you get some drainage there.
Yeah, it goes to like the canyon edge right there, and then it dumps in there.
Dump them. And then so anyway, so that was the biggest, and then not to disparage and say like it was fun. I'm sure other people got fucked up, but that was what we had here, like in San Diego, my neck of the woods here, on the storm front. But
it seemed pretty crappy. I mean, I was watching it and following it, and that seemed pretty gnarly. It's like holy shit, it's coming straight for San Diego.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess everywhere else that was outside of that, on the outskirts of the hurricane, the edge of it, the cone, as they call it, by the way, in the biz.
Mm-hmm. In the biz.
The eye is, the eye is in the center, and the cone is on the outside, right? Okay, so, anyways, I'm an expert now. But, yeah, people got hit real hard out in the desert because... flash flooding and stuff, like the water doesn't absorb into the dirt. It just rides on top of it.
Yeah.
I
think
it's kind of nuts.
I think at least where we were, it's like, oh, it's nice to get some rain. It's been a little dry, so
Yeah,
that was a lot of it. Was like, but it was like super humid here, so I'm like, oh, what I did notice is like my salt lamps were sweating.
Uh-oh.
They're fine now, but I had to like bat them off. I'm like, what the fuck? They got leaking a little bit on my desk here, and I was like, what the hell?
They're getting scared. They're getting of the rain, the moisture.
It sounds like it's been super that humid in San Diego. I was like, my salt lamps. I'm like, what the fuck? I guess that's a thing, huh?
I can't get wet. You know this, right, Brian?
Like, aren't you supposed to absorb?
It's also
water?
Close to the window, right?
Yeah, I mean, my whole room is close to the window. I live in a shoebox.
My room is close to the window because it has a window in it.
Yeah,
I meant like right next to it.
But yeah. Anyway, so I mean, the whole hurricane thing, it wasn't that big a deal. But
yeah,
at least for me, I'm sure it could have been for other people. So sucks for them.
Yeah.
I don't know what to say. I'm like,
I know it. I guess you never know what weather's gonna really be like.
Yeah,
I
definitely.
So fortunately,
yeah,
because they were talking about like 80-mile-an-hour winds and shit, 120. I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
And then
I go outside. My truck
elsewhere.
is flipped over. I go out there and I like look at my truck and it's doing like Sonic the Hedgehog. Just
after you just dumped all that money in there.
What the hell? Just down the street. I'm like, God damn it. But anyways.
I guess, yeah, so this isn't a weather podcast, but it's been hot. I'm on some freaking shorts, right? Yeah. But I've been wearing my work pants, and that's been freaking... Or my non-work pants.
Your skinny jeans. Yeah.
Yeah. Been pretty damn good.
Slim jeans or whatever the hell.
Yeah. I guess other than that, I mean, I started a new show. I was watching a new show called The Peripherals. Peripherals? Yeah. Yeah, it's on Amazon. It's all right. It's kind of weird. It's like a futuristic show that like you can assume like an AI type character, like a
okay.
You can like go into a character somewhere else or whatever. Yeah. It's not really a person. It's like an AI or like a robot, I'll say.
Yeah.
So you can assume that person and they're like in the future.
Okay, that's cool.
So it's kind of a weird concept, and there's been like
heard of that
massive plagues and like nuclear fallout and and stuff. But yeah, it's kind of strange. So I'm only like 4th episode in. And it's definitely a weird one, and I'm like, huh? Trying to. It's not even that complicated. I'm like, wait a minute. That character knows about that, but this character doesn't know. I'm like, I don't even know. Yeah. Just watch it. Just
sure about that. But usually, like
pause it
when you're starting shows. You're usually watching with Carrie, right?
Yeah, I watch it with Carrie, unless she doesn't like them.
And then you carry on by yourself.
Yeah, carry on my wayward Kyle. I'll just dive in. That was unnecessary.
Yeah,
dive into a show. But I usually there are things I watch on YouTube that I still watch with my wife. Like I watch the guy who has a convent that he bought in France is building or like rebuilding and stuff. We watch that together. Sometimes I'll get a little greedy. I can't wait.
You're like, this is family time. You and the cats and Gary all sit together.
Gather around. Yeah.
Gather around, everyone. You have a cat on each shoulder.
They'd be pissed.
We built this city on rock and roll.
Not even. God gave rock and roll to you.
Yeah.
Anyways, that's kind of my what's new. I mean, yeah. What do you got?
I played a gig this past Friday at the old Ken Club in Kensington, San Diego.
How was that?
It's supposed to be.
Tell me more.
Well, I mean, the spoilers just sucked ass. So that's leading up to that. We were supposed to play with like there was a band that we were like, okay, it's like we've been wanting to play with. Should I call them out? Well, anyways, there's a band that was supposed to. I won't call them out, but they were the ones headlining. They set up the show. They reached out to us and were like, "Oh, we've been wanting to play with these guys for a while," and it just hadn't worked out. But it was like, okay, let's play Friday. I'm like, okay, I was still off work. I'm like, totally, I have a Friday free.
That's lazy fuck.
And Fridays we normally practice. Christ. Let's go. I can make it a show here. So we got added on this show like last minute, like the week before or so, right? So adding on a week before, it's like you can't do much promo of like you try and like message your friends and try and tell people, like, hey, come out to the show, doing posts and stuff like that.
Yeah, you get a bunch of these.
You get a bunch of maybes or soft maybes.
What am I supposed to do with a bunch of soft maybes,
soft
Bob?
Maybes, Bob? It's like, what the hell am I supposed to do with that? So it's like, okay, Bob. Hey, Bobo. And so it was like, okay, I'm like, so the headliner and the band who booked it, they backed out the day of at 2:30 p.m. Doors are at 8. So there's not even a full 24 or 12 hours.
You know what? Light them up, dude. This is your platform to fuck people over. No, don't.
I won't, but it's just like...
They know who they are.
It was just bullshit excuse. It's like, oh, whatever. It's like, oh, somebody's kid had the flu, so they couldn't play. I'm like...
That sounds like bullshit.
I'm like, so you don't have the flu? But their kid does? But the mom...
So, yeah.
Which I'm like, bullshit. Okay, not that I'm like... I think, but we have always kind of been of like the band to never cancel or back out of a show. It's like, you willing and able, do you play the show?
Yeah.
I think our drummer even like fucked up his wrist because he was an idiot. He was trying to do skateboarding moves in a parking lot.
Skateboarding.
He was.
You sound like a fucking square, by the way.
And he was an idiot. And a
drummer was trying to do skateboarding.
No, he had like a Sector 9 shredder board, and he was going through a parking lot that actually was kind of sick for it. But he was like doing too much, before we played, and he like basically like wrenched his wrist, like really fucked it up.
Hyperextended it or something.
Yeah, and right before we played, I'm like, "You're playing." All right, kid, you're fucking playing. I don't give a shit. It's like, he's like, oh, my wrist hurts. I'm like, okay. So he essentially did pretty good. He did the Travis Barker thing. And actually, I'm like, he's pretty good because he was a good drummer, but he was just a dickhead kid. He wasn't a kid. He was fucking 20 years old. But
he wasn't even that young, not much younger than us.
He was just fully.
But he just acted like one. Yeah. He acted like
I think we were
17.
Yeah, we were like 22, 23, and he was 20, and he was just like acted like a 16-year-old. But anyway, so we still always played a show. So this was one. It was like, my kid has the flu. I'm like, what? Okay, I guess we're just...
What does that have to do with the fucking show?
Yeah, this isn't work.
Yeah.
Anyway, so they canceled. Okay. All right, so the headliner and the person who like we actually wanted to play with, they backed out. Okay, what else do we have? Oh, we have 2 other bands that are essentially like us. We're scabs. That got added onto the show like the week of. And they are both underage. This is a bar show. So the 2 other bands are underage. So they're like 19, 20 years old. So they aren't used to playing bar shows. And I'm like, God damn it. And, okay. So, but they were, okay, the first band, they were good. They were fine. Totally fine. You can tell they were really big Blink-182 fans, which, being 19 years old, I'm like, you're into Blink-182? I'm like, I liked that when I was your age. I'm like, I'm old. I'm way older than you. It's not even close. We're not even contemporaries. And I'm like, okay. And the guitarist played a Tom DeLonge Strat.
Oh shit!
He actually wore one? I think probably the new one. And then he wore baggy Dickies. Like I could see him like, oh, the ones with the padded knees and the cell phone pocket. I'm like, whoa.
Oh, yeah, dude, after your own heart, these guys.
I'm like, these guys, I'm like, that kid. I'm like, all right, kid, you got something going. And the drummer was like Travis Barker wannabe for sure. And I'm like, okay. They were doing, all that shit, but they had some, I mean, they even played Blink-182 covers, Fall Out Boy covers. I'm like, man, that shit is so old for these guys. But it's like, okay, it worked. They did the damn thing. And they had actually, like, really... I'm burping the mic there. I'll leave it in there.
It's fine. I was going to let it slide, but you brought it up this time.
I'll allow it.
I'll allow it.
And then they had some pretty cool gear that matches up with the times now. Not then. So both guitars, one had a rack mount Helix with a power amp. So like the rack mount Helix deal, so the full on. And then the other one had a powered Kemper rack mount head. And both of them had nice 212, real nice 212 cabs. So one had an orange and the other one had a Mesa Boogie 212, on their side. And I'm like, what a cool rig for, being 19, 20 years old. I'm like, and
it's up there too.
Yeah. And then, Adam was talking about like, man, imagine being like 19 or 20 years old and having that kind of rig. I'm like, well, we both kind of did that when we were their age.
Yeah.
I had a dual rectifier with a 412 because that's what New Found Glory had. That's what, Blink had, MXPX. I bought the rig that they had. And that's what these kids now, I say kids, they're adults still, but it's like the kids nowadays are doing the shit that like bigger bands are doing. So I think of probably Real Friends are doing that shit. Wonder Years are doing that because they're getting these type of amps and
Modern Baseball.
Yeah, and they're doing the I don't know, the Kemper modeler shit, Helix whatever, and then they're just using the cabs as stage volume, and it sounded okay, except the fact that the sound guy mic'd the cabs.
Oh yeah,
he should have went XLR. Fuck, I can't talk. I think I bit my tongue earlier today.
Just blame your tongue.
Yeah, not the fact that I'm stupid. Yes, Kyle, you're like, yes, you are.
By the way, I know you talked about the Tom DeLonge Strats. They are still available. Well, one of them. There's one available on Sweetwater.
It's a black.
By the way, it's a black one.
The least coolest one. You want the graffiti yellow? That's the coolest one.
Yeah,
it's gone.
But there's one for. It's a demo available in black.
Cool.
Snow wants that one.
No. Put a black pick guard on there. Now we're talking.
That'd be sick. Actually,
I had that. I had a black pick guard and a black Invader. Boom.
Yeah,
that was cool.
Yeah, I'd get the yellow one. They're doing pre-orders though.
Ooh, whoa!
So you pre-order.
Okay. How much is it again?
It's 1,300.
All right, that's not.
That's not good at all.
Not good, but not bad. I don't know if I,
pay it down.
Didn't have a stupid ass truck to pay for. But
you don't talk shit about that truck.
Don't talk about that truck. It's nice.
That truck is nice.
It's done more than you ever would in your life. But they mic'd the cab, and I think it didn't sound as good because it was kind of like it was very like this through the mix. Because I think they were running cab IRs through the cab, and then they mic'd the cab.
Huh.
Which you can in different, because I was like kind of like eyeballing. I'm like, the guy's signal on his Helix. I'm like, oh, he's not running separate signals. He should have been running a separate signal to the output, which is a cab IR, and then run.
He was just running it like it was an amp.
Yeah,
right.
Was. Yep. But with an IR on it. Which he should be running just from the amp to the power amp to the cab, and then if you wanted to mic that, you could. But you already have a cab IR output XLR run to the front of the house. But, hey, these are complicated things. These are complicated business, folks. Complicated business. And I say that because I had to figure that shit out when I was running my fractal. And it's fun.
Your 12 cable method or whatever?
Yeah, fun times, actually. I love learning that type of stuff, and I'm glad I know it now. Because eventually, when I ever play out live with my fucking fractal, I'm going to be ready. I tell you, folks. So, it was kind of cool. It's like putting two IRs in front of each other. So, Kyle, if you next time load up your Helix, the IR, not the IR, but the plugin.
Native. Yeah.
I'm like, tell me how many.
I'm drowning.
The native plugin and put two cabs in front of each other. It's kind of what it sounded like. It's like you do too much. So, but it was totally fine. Totally fine. The next band, they were also the underage band, so it was okay, cool. They brought actually a really good crowd, but it must have been their parents, mom and dad and all their friends. Because I'm like, they're kind of our age. I'm like, all right, like maybe in their 40s or so, and I'm like, not bad. Because Adam was like, hey, what's up? He's talking to some of them at the bar. Hey, what's that? Oh, I'm playing in the band. I'm like, which one? I'm like, oh, the one after, I guess, so-and-so. I was like, oh, okay. I'm here to see that.
That's my kid's band.
And then Adam's like, again, like, we're ready to go here. But and they were okay. But they were just, it's just the bands. I think they were just like, throwing anything at the fucking lineup. Like, please play the band that set up the show. That called out sick. And this band
called
was
out sick.
Yeah, called out sick to the show.
They all right. I'm not feeling too.
They do the Ferris Bueller type thing.
Yeah.
They have the fucking keyboard with the coughing fart sounds and shit like that.
Yeah, really fake sounding.
It's like you lick your palms. That's it's childish, but it works. So is algebra. So so they were like Red Hot Chili Peppers mixed with Sublime. And I say that you're like, oh, Brian, good God, because they played 2 Red Hot Chili Peppers covers and a Sublime cover. Okay. And then they also played a Blink-182 cover. That one really got me. I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
And they played on clean guitars like you would hear from Red Hot Chili Peppers. They had no distortion on them. You're like, what the hell? They played First Date.
Ooh.
So imagine a Strat sound, not a Tom DeLonge Strat, but a 3-coil
Single
Strat.
coil.
Yeah. Playing First Date. I'm like, okay, it worked out because the crowd, they loved him, I tell you.
Yeah.
And then, so, and then we played, and pretty much it was like roaches when you turn the light on.
Yeah.
There was probably like 5 people there. It sucked.
Damn.
I'm gonna be honest with you. It sucked. But
we've all been there. Though.
Yeah, we were there, and we should have not been there. We could have.
Yeah.
We should have said no. And all of us were like, we all knew this was going to happen. I'm like, why didn't we all tell each other no? I'm like, because we were excited. It was cool to do like a practice night show anyways, but it's also like, it was nice to get on stage playing. And, it's a good stage at Ken Club. It's just, it's a shitty show. Nobody goes there, ever. Sucks.
It's like fucking pull teeth to get people there. You gotta like drag.
Yeah, I saw
drag people.
I saw Nothington there. Nothington. They're a bigger band.
Yeah.
Fucking 20
people.
40 people at most. I would say that's generous. Probably closer to 30.
Damn.
Nothington with Western settings. There was 30 people there. It was ridiculous. Anyways. So,
Western settings knows better than to play that bar.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think they did it because it was Nothington. But all that to say, was nice to play on it loud on a stage. And, I'm not doing in-ears. I'm just playing with the rumble of the stage and my monitor and my amp and shit like that. And it sounded top notch. Real great. Sound guy, nice. He knew what he was doing. So this must have been a sound guy that I think he originally, he started there last time we played Ken Club, which was not good. He's learned the room. He knows what he's doing now. He was on it. He was on it, I tell you. Sounded great. In our in-ears, or their in-ears, Brian, Adam, my monitor, my wedge solid there. And then front of house, from what people were saying, it's like, it sounded really great. But there was nobody there practically. So it's like, cool, we could do whatever we wanted and nobody's going to hear it. It's like the tree falls in the woods. Did it really fall? Who knows? What sound did it make? That kind of deal. But, I mean, it sucks because it was like, it sounded so good. No one was there. And we were like, all by the end of it, it was just us and the sound guy. And like the three of us were like,
pack this up? Yeah.
Damn. Hey, we've been there before.
Yeah, we've been there before, like when you tour or...
Yeah.
Man, those are rough.
It was just kind of a thing. I'm like, at least we're at home and we're going to go to bed in our own beds.
Yeah.
What if it was the
I
same
remember
bed?
one time, not like, to make us sound or feel like shit, but we had like a show at Epicenter, I think it was.
Mm-hmm.
And like someone just started sweeping like while we're playing. Like there were still people there.
Yeah, they were
even like
closing up stuff and turning lights on in the back, and they were sweeping. And then like, so I think there was like in between, like a song ended and people just started leaving, and it's like no, and they wouldn't let them back in. It's like no re-entry. I'm like, you guys are. I was so pissed. I'm so glad that place is fucking done.
Yeah.
And that cocksucker who used to book there, he doesn't book there anymore. Fuck him.
Yeah.
Anyways, so yeah, I mean, at least it was good rally, guys. That was fun.
Yeah.
We do have a show coming up till 2, so I guess I'll promote it.
Should be better.
Hopefully, I don't know.
And you have time to actually,
promote it and get people out there.
Yeah.
Saturday, September 2nd. With Legs, the band, and Alita, and Insomnia. Oh my god, sorry, there's a burp. I'm leaving them there because it's natural.
Yeah. You shit yourself too. I'm leaving that in. It's only natural.
It's covering my boots. Real shit kicker there.
It's filling my boots. Mm-hmm. It's filling my boots.
Yep. So till 2 in San Diego. I like that club. Not bad. Nothing wrong with Ken Club, but it just seems more people come out to Tilt 2. I like it.
Yeah.
So, good spot there.
Well, it's like Kensington is like such a quiet neighborhood. Mm-hmm. It's kind of like almost, not to say that no one knows where it is, but, it's just, I don't know why.
There's not real, like, street traffic of people walking by after a certain time. So,
yeah.
I guess people not in San Diego. It's like there used to be the Ken Theater. They used to bring people kind of maybe later. I don't know, but it's just like there's nobody like walking in. I'm like, oh, here's a Ken Club. Let's go to the watering hole. And also the Ken Club in San Diego is so shitty because it's a really long bar, and then they got pool tables on one side, and then it's a wall dividing the live room.
Yeah.
So, hey, like, oh, cool, there's music going on here. You got to pay a cover.
Fuck them. Yeah, exactly.
Like, okay.
That's what's weird.
Let them come in. Like, we want people here instead of like, sorry, pay a cover. And they're like, fuck that. Can I hang out in here and listen to myself talk and watch Pulp Fiction like on
of course.
repeat? Yeah, go ahead.
We wouldn't have it any other way.
Also a cash bar. So anyways, not to shit on them.
Yeah.
But anyways, so that was my, I played a show, so I did some music stuff over there. And then some non-music stuff here. I started reading books.
Whoa!
Yeah, I got a couple books from, gifted to me from buddy Johnny Ray, Johnny Two Guns over there. So I got Sam Talent's Running the Light. So Sam Talent, he's from Chubby Behemoth, that podcast, and he's also a comedian. And then also to go with that same type of deal there, we got Overlook.
There you go.
Yeah, from Matt McCusker. Our boy McCusker over there.
Yeah.
Not our boy. We don't know him. But from Matt and Shane's Secret Podcast. So it's two comedian podcasters who are also writers, and they both wrote works of fiction. And I'm excited to read them. I started Running the Light because it was a little bit shorter. And let me tell you, I'm loving it. I think I blew through maybe a third of it, maybe a half of it already, actually. So it's broken up by chapters by he breaks it up by day. So it's a week in the life of this character.
Interesting.
So it's a fiction. So it's a made up character, Billy Ray Schaefer. And essentially, it's not a far stretch. So it's not like these aren't biographies, which I think is cool because they're just made up stories from these guys. And both of them wrote these books before they were kind of like, not that either one of them are like famous, but
yeah.
Matt McCusker's doing well.
Before they've gotten recent traction.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so is Sam Talent. So Matt McCusker wrote his book Overlook when he 2016, 17 maybe. So he was divorced, sleeping on an air mattress with a house of comedians with 4 or 5 people living in one house, and he's just eating cans of beans and having his family just do something with your life. He's like, I'm writing a book. And then he eventually went to school and graduated and has a successful podcast family and stuff like that. So I'm excited to read that one. And then Sam Talent's Running the Light. He wrote when his wife was going to school or something like that. She's a doctor now. So she had a residency, I think, in Las Vegas. So he's like, okay, uproot both their lives for 2 years and go to Las Vegas. He's like, okay. He wasn't a huge regional touring actor or anything like that. So he's like, okay, I got to restart my comedy career in Las Vegas. So I guess I'll do that while I write a book. And then, so he wrote Running the Light. And I'm like, okay, cool. And it's, cool because both of them are writing their next novel. So I think nice. Both of them are comedians and they're funny and they're, smart guys, but both of them have suffered the same fate to where they have data saved on just their laptop.
Oh, no.
That's it. Not on a cloud or a drive or Google Drive or a physical drive, and they've lost things or they've had to have people recover it. So I'm sure they are writing as they go, and it's save it on a USB or something. It's a Word file. That's all you got to do. It's probably under a gig. But so it's interesting to hear kind of their process and stuff like that as they talk about it on their podcast. But I'm enjoying it. I haven't read a book. I guess to preface it, I haven't read a book since freshman year, at least, maybe even before then. Because I got through high school by cheating, by Cliff Notes, reading the back of the book.
Hey, chill out. The statute of limitations isn't up on that yet.
They take away my diploma. Cliff Notes and just making shit up. And I got B's, by the way. I'm still Jerry Seinfeld.
You must have been bad at copying.
B movie, by the way. I still made it through. And I'm I just didn't like reading. I just did not like it because it was you're forced to read something you never wanted, you had no interest in.
Yeah.
And it's over 20 years since I've read a book. I'll be honest with you. And not that I finished one of these, but I'm well through Sam Talent's book and I'm enjoying it. I tell you, I love it. It's fun. It is not a difficult read, but there are words that I don't know. So I stop and I go check them out. I'm you have that, just Google it. Right, type of thing, and yeah, it's cool. I'm so stultification, the act of making something futile and useless. And I was I didn't know what that meant, so pause reading, and I Googled it. I'm yep. And so I'm doing that as I'm reading. If there's words that I don't know, And then, as a dumbass, I saved that and screenshot it. I'm like, I'm gonna add this to my own vernacular.
I'm gonna use this today. Wrong.
And then I say it in the wrong way. But yeah, it's maybe that was a win from my 2 weeks off there. That I'm like, I started reading, and it's actually I thoroughly enjoy it. Am I gonna?
You should have started before, like when your weekend starts is when you should start reading.
Yeah. So and it was just a few hours, and I'm like, oh, I blew through half of that, and I'm thinking,
looks Sam Tallent's book is on Audible.
Yeah, it's audio, and I think we talked about it. It's like he had at least a handful of comedians, including Mark Normand, and I think your boy
Tim Dillon's on here.
Ari Shaffir, your favorite.
Oh, God. Bert Kreischer, he's an idiot. Oh God, I hate that. He's the machine. Oh yeah, so funny.
He's all right, but I like that. Like he had a bunch of comedians reading it, so they read each chapter, which is a day in the life of Billy Ray Schaefer, the character. And I do like it because I've heard like him mention like, oh, he's built these experiences and stuff like that off of like stuff that he's done or people that he knows, and so it's kind of cool because I've heard that Nathan Lund, so his podcast co-host, is a character in the story. And then he goes to Trinidad and Raton, so like they have a lot of friends that are from that area in Colorado. So I mean it's fun. I'm excited to finish this book and then also to start Overlook by McCusker. So I don't know.
I don't see Overlook on here.
No, he did not get that. I think he was originally before Matt and Shane blew up, and also like Shane, shout out Shane Gillis, got that Netflix special coming out in September.
Oh, dang.
And they tried to cancel them, our boy there. We don't know him. But they tried to cancel the dog, and then he's coming out with Beautiful Dogs, the special on Netflix. So, good job, everybody. So before Matt and Shane kind of blew up, he was going to have Shane read Overlook on Audible.
Yeah.
And so unfortunately it didn't happen, but I
still go back and do it.
You could, but I'm liking the reading here. So that's it's like a very small what's new, but I don't know, big, and I haven't done it in 15 years, man. I haven't read in over 15 years. That's 20 years. I forgot.
Tried listening.
I forgot I'm 35, by the way. 20 years I haven't read a book.
I tried listening to this podcast today, and I had pulled over. It was like, been tired recently, but I pulled over and was just listening to Joe Rogan, and I like fell asleep. Like I had pulled over, not just on the road, but like into like a parking lot.
Yeah.
And I woke up. I'm like, the fuck, and you're confused. That was totally me.
I
was like, well, how long was I sleeping? I was listening to Brian Keating.
Yeah.
Who's like a cosmologist on Joe Rogan's.
Mm-hmm.
And, there's talking about physics and astrophysics and I'm like, so I just fucking passed out. I'm like, how long? Sitting there with the fucking truck running.
With Spotify, you listen to like a couple episodes of Joe Rogan. They're like, you must like every episode of Joe Rogan. Here's all of them.
Here's a new one. I'm like, all right.
A lot of them like, oh, cool. I don't,
I just pick and choose ones.
Yeah.
But I just noticed Hulk Hogan.
I was about to say, dude, I'm gonna listen to that tomorrow.
Yeah, fuck. I still have an hour left of Brian Keating, so.
Yeah.
But I tried listening to Post Malone. I think I only got like an hour into it, and I'm like, man, I can't. Like, this isn't my.
Yeah, I listen to like comedians that I like, and that's pretty much it.
He's just not interesting.
Mm-hmm.
He's not interesting. He doesn't have anything. He's like, yeah, man, that's so cool. I'm like,
you
all
can
right,
realize
keep the
that
conversation going,
some
man.
People just don't know how to talk. That they're like celebrities.
I get it. He's a musician.
Not. I mean, I didn't listen to it, not to shit, and I don't really know anything about her. But I'm just going to assume the Demi Lovato episode. I'm sure that's not one I need to listen to.
Is that a newer one?
I saw it again on every time you refresh and log into Spotify, it's like new Joe Rogan episode. I'm like, okay.
Demi Lovato.
Last one I listened to was like 4 months ago was Sam Talent. I'm not a huge, I mean, Joe Rogan fan. He's cool. I like him, whatever. But I'm like, I don't need to listen to every episode. Except the one that blasted my face today, Hulk Hogan. I'm like, that's okay. Now, Spotify, you got me.
Yeah, I don't need to see every time Theo Vaughn gets on there or every time Tim Dillon or Bert Kreischer. They're on all the time.
I jumped into Tim Dillon the other day, and it's still funny. He's still pretty good.
He's funny, but man, he gets. I like seeing his clips. I can't deal with like he's just so negative.
He's good to pop in and out of, for sure. Listening to
he's funny though. I'd like to see him live.
I could do maybe a 3-episode run. Listen to the Tim Dillon show, and then I'm like, all right, I need to get some positivity. So was it toxic positivity with some Matt and Shane? That's what I need.
Toxic positivity. It's positive even though everything's so bad around you. You're just like in denial.
I like because everything's so like Shane could talk so bad about himself, and Matt's like, "No, you're looking pretty good, dude. I like it. You're thinking on a higher level." He's sung over and just like a blob, just like, oh no. He's like, "No, you're looking good, dude."
I always think about, or not always, but like recently, where he was on the bed and that guy walked in on him, jerking off.
He's naked on the bed
in the dark room,
masturbating. So he's like, "Get out!"
This is a good. Yeah, that's a good. The way he describes it is so funny.
It's like pancake batter just splattered onto the mattress.
Like, just almost the same color as the white sheets.
Yeah.
The guy's like squinting. What is that? What is
Get
out? Jerking it. Oh my god!
But yeah, as far as that goes, I mean, not to again make light of the hurricane that hit San Diego, or our area here in the south, Southern California. But it was like I had people hitting me up while I was like reading, my first book in 20 years, and I'm like,
I'm reading.
I put that on the fridge. Can I
I'm baiting.
I'm reading. Can I get a Pizza Hut personal pizza? When that's Scholastic, like you're reading books, you got pizza.
Oh yeah.
I finish a book and I buy myself a large pizza. Just eat it all by myself.
We could get pizza at school. Like it was supposedly Pizza Hut.
Yeah.
Right? Mm-hmm. Doubt it. But I remember it just being all bread.
Yeah.
But it being really good. But not enough. Like it was like the top tier, of food you could buy. This was at least at middle school, and I think they even had it in high school too. But it was like $2.50 for it, and you're like, God, like that's expensive back in the freaking 90s or 2000 early 2000s, and I'd be hungry for more. It's like, I want a fucking whole pizza.
Mm-hmm.
Not just like it was because it came in like a pan,
like
a little
small
aluminum.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you eat it and like, all right, that's the fucking. I mean, I'm a big boy, but it's like that's the freaking appetizer,
Yeah,
but yeah. My parents never sent me to school with money. So
yeah, no, we talked about this. It's kind of what's new, but I think we had a little bit of a technical difficulty in the middle there. I think we are definitely over an hour. Let's
I think we are.
Maybe do a quick topic here, and then bring it on home. What do you say?
Let's do it.
Okay. How about Bang, Marry, Kill here? What do you say?
All right.
So, the M&M's, the OG, the brown bag.
Oh.
That's it. I'm sorry.
Keep going.
Versus Reese's Pieces, the OG. So think of like E.T. Phone Home.
Yeah.
Or red bag Skittles. Bang, Marry, Kill. What are you thinking here?
Is this the... I think they changed that green apple one back to lime, by the way.
It could be either or, because, to me, it's like the same verdict. I'm going to tell you. Not to spoil it for you for mine. Doesn't matter what you change, even if it was like fucking dollar bills. Every time you eat one, you get $1. I'm like, still sorry, pal.
All right. So if it is the lime,
yeah,
then we're going to
slime time live.
We're gonna bang the Reese's Pieces. We're going to marry the Skittles. I know you're like, what?
No.
And get rid of the fucking just the milk chocolate, no peanuts M&M.
Okay, well, do you have a favorite M&M then? Let's sidetrack here.
It's the peanut one. Peanut ones.
That's the worst one.
What are you talking about?
Almonds.
You're making peanut butter in your mouth.
Almonds probably the worst one. You're right.
Yeah.
It was too crunchy. Too hard, not crunchy.
Yeah.
Oh, I like a little crunchy.
I like the peanuts one.
I like the peanut butter.
But then when they have like caramel in it, those are
it's too much.
I think I got fudge ones one time just to try. I'm like, oh, what's this? It is like, what the fuck are you guys doing over there?
You ruined something good.
Yeah. Although minis, I don't know what it is. Maybe because they're just so small and there's more sugar coated around them or whatever.
Yeah. I know.
Just fucking pop that thing open and just. It's like that's your prescription, man.
Yeah.
That's your.
These are the medicines. The medicines.
Shoot them down.
That they're trying to take away from us.
Yeah. Fuck. Those are pretty good, but yeah, I guess maybe this is controversial.
Yeah.
Don't mix them all up, right? The Skittles, the Reese's Pieces, and the regular M&Ms, right?
Yeah.
Just the Reese's Pieces and the regular M&Ms. That'd be pretty sweet.
Yeah. There was an explosion at the fucking Reese's factory. And that's chocolate and peanut butter mixed together.
What? Yeah, you believe the commercials?
That's how they came up with Reese's.
No, but that's a bet. You know what? You should do that is mix all of those together, those three, into one bowl.
It's like you're a kid. You're like, oh, shit, you run to the fridge. I got to head to the lab. And you pour chocolate, syrup in your mouth and milk, and you're just like, and then you
top that on with a friggin'
the Ready Whip.
Yeah, Ready Whip.
And your lips all over it, and then you skid with your socks back to the TV like Street Sharks on.
Street Sharks. Fucking Samurai Pizza Cats are on, dude. Fucking slamming these down.
You're like, during the commercial break, you hop over, you Spider-Man flip over the couch, run to the
risky business into the kitchen. Slide in, fucking scoop a fucking handful of Toll House
cookie.
Slam that thing in there, chew it before mom sees you, snap the lid back down on the tub.
And then you gotta get like, oh, there's not enough chocolate in here, so you squirt the fucking Hershey's syrup in your mouth.
Gotta lube that up, dude. That's the only way it's getting down.
And you take a bit of Surge and get that in there to like, you gotta wash it down. And then you run back to the TV and just blah.
No, what I was saying is you mix. It's like you mix the Skittles. You make all the same size candy into one bowl. Mm-hmm. So you're scooping out. You're like, what the fuck is going on? People eat it like, ugh. There's a mix of all those. Or
you're like, it's all in the mix.
The gumball machines, but you have bouncy balls in there too. You have mixed
marbles.
Oh God, Jesus! Well, what's your BMK for that? I'm pretty sure we already know it, but
I was gonna kill the Skittles. I was gonna bang the OG M&Ms, and then marry the Reese's Pieces. I'm a peanut butter guy, man. You can't go wrong with peanut butter. Peanut butter and pretzels. Peanut butter and jelly. You could
smear peanut butter on a doorknob. I'd be all over it.
I'm going to shove it up my ass.
Oh, jeez.
Peanut butter, peanut butter and jelly. Peanut butter and banana. Peanut butter and honey.
I know. You like it all except for the original.
What? Peanut butter and jam. Take peanut butter and 2 pieces of bread, jam it together.
Peanut butter and jelly, dude.
I said peanut butter and jelly. What type of jelly are you doing? You grape or you strawberry guy? What are you doing?
Raspberry.
boysenberry.
You just pick one.
Wasn't it? We were with Train. We were on tour. We're like, okay, I think we were at IHOP.
Do you have any boysenberry?
And he made the request. He's like, there was like 5 different like syrups on the table for his waffles or pancakes or whatever. He's like, pulls the waitress over. It's like, excuse me, do you have any boysenberry? It's like, okay, so every other syrup wasn't okay for you. It's like,
yeah, it's
boy,
not
the
good.
one. So she's like gotta like go to the like Disney vaults and like crank it up and to find it, and just Indiana Jones style with a bag of fucking thing to get the boysenberry. Anyways, that was fun. Capping off there.
That's pretty good.
Let's bring it on home. Kyle, you got a list for me?
Yeah.
Oh wait,
I got it.
Hold on.
Jesus Christ!
Good thing you have it because we don't know what that list is for yet. I just want to say thank you for tuning into the Tone Jerks podcast. This was a little scatterbrain. We had some technical difficulties, but we can bring it on home. We'll pull it together. I think I can. And then, so thank you for tuning into the Tone Jerks podcast. If you wanted to follow along on the show, with the show, you can on social media. Kyle, you're like, come on, Brian, bring it home. We have a Facebook group linked in the description, and then down below here, and then
its bags are packed. I'm giving you the Happy Gilmore. Send it home.
Yeah, we're on Instagram at the Tone Jerks, and then YouTube. We have the video podcast over there, and some other videos eventually, probably. And then if you really like the show, you can help support us on Patreon for as little as $1 a month. But if you double down for $2 a month, you get an extra episode every week. And you get the whole back catalog of podcasts over there. We have close to 300 bonus episodes over there on Patreon. You get that for just $2 a month. You get the new ones. You get the old ones. You could get a external hard drive and then download all the episodes, put it on there.
No,
you
can't do that. It's physically impossible.
For just $2, and then come back and see us next year. But, don't do that. But just for the support, we want to give you support the show here. Keep the lights on. We'll keep the light on for you.
Yeah.
We're just,
look at what keeps the lights on here. And more guitars on the wall.
Yeah, more guitars on the wall.
Not enough yet.
Actually, yeah.
But if you keep...
Yeah. I think I might get a library card. I was thinking about buying more books, but I should get a library card.
Oh my God.
You loser!
Fucking nerd. Nerd!
Well, let me finish my first book. So I'll let you know. Hopefully by maybe next episode or 2, I'll have finished my first book in 20 years. I think it's a big accomplishment. Come on.
Yeah, but anyways, let's see if you make it there first.
Look here, you fat loser.
You just fat idiot loser.
You just dunk on me. Just nuts in my face. Kind of like,
I don't even read, though. I just read books on tape. I'm smart.
Nothing
I
wrong.
listen to someone tell me what is in the book.
I still like that. That's pretty good. But reading, is cool too, I guess. But Johnny says, like, beware. There's a lot of shitty books out there. So
yeah.
Anyways, Kyle, you got a list of all the supporters?
Yeah.
Here? Why don't you give it to me?
I have Andrew Walsh from Andrew's Alcove and the Second Button podcast. I have Abe Newman, Michael Newman, Nicholas Payson, Nicholas Ogburn, Doug King, Doug Chris from 37 Effects, Masters of the Cinematic Universe, and also the Just Surprise Me podcast.
Mm-hmm.
I have Joe from the Like Mind Network, Masters of the Cinematic Universe, and also the Just Surprise Me podcast. I think he copied Doug, actually, on that.
It's good.
It's really like Joe's like, yeah, you got to stop biting on my buddy Doug.
Yeah.
Will Lehue from the Just Surprise Me podcast, Energy Weapon, Sharing Maps, and our Chainsaw Cabal, which I got to write it down. I'm just going off of memory.
Hopefully this
is yeah, pretty sure that's what it is. He's got a side project with I think like a singer maybe. I'm not actually. I've never had him clarify if it's someone singing on his tracks or vice versa, or they're both doing. I don't know. I could probably ask him. He's doing more music though.
Yeah,
so that's
he's
what's
got
cool.
shit going. Yeah.
Yeah. Tony DeGraw from Texas State Boggle Champs. We got RJ Smith from Telly Talks. We got Jamie Davis, Johnny Ray, Steve Rao from 60 Cycle Hum, Kevin E. Quits from Quits Guitars, Co Schneider from the band Night Tides from the Tennessee area. The Tennessee area. The Nashville area. That's the only city in Tennessee you don't give a shit about anyway.
He's the only 10 I see.
They got the hot chicken. Huh?
He's the only 10 I see.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Okay.
He's only Night Tides I see. Alvaro Villamontes, Brian Nutter of Nutter Guitars, Mel Chipson of Chipson Guitars, Sean Arbo from Gun Street Wiring Shop, Sean Fahey from the band Shadowhounds out of San Antonio area, Sean Wright from Lollygagger Effects and How to Fucking Solder on YouTube.
Oh, yeah.
Juan Ortiz from Tone Hungry Effects, Mike Oxbig, Hugh G-Rection, and Denny Whacked It.
Oh, yeah.
And Zach Hale, Eric Merrill from YouTube and Instagram, Scott Hamilton from the Effects Loop podcast, Matthew Fenslaw, Matthew Davis, Chase Stevens, and Pete from over there.
All right.
And that's the list.
There you go.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. And we will see you next time. Oh, boy.
Bye.